Hey, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Handles. Thank you guys very much for joining. I am Lorenzo, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can get access to all the mishaps that I've been making in my life, so hopefully you don't make the same ones. So let's jump right in. Picture you hanging out with a buddy of yours and they ask, what are your non-negotiables in life? Things that are pillars of values of who you are, things you will never negate from. What are your non-negotiables? What do you tell your buddy? Do you have any non-negotiables? Maybe you do professionally. Do you have any personally? If so, what are they? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to explain to you and give you a very painful story as how I identified my non-negotiables. Everyone has a grip on life. Everybody feels like they have a handle. Afraid to share the mistakes. The stories are what connect us. They're the key. We're running out of time. So I'm working for a company that I really enjoy, and most importantly, I am in a role that I absolutely love. Every day, I wake up looking forward to go to work just because of the role that I'm currently in. Not only that, but I'm excelling in the role. So I feel like everything is just so smooth. I'm making the impact I need to make. It's showing on some of the numbers. Everything is working out well. And guess what? A promotion comes available. And go figure, it stays within the same area or content that of my role that I'm currently in. Can't beat it. But I'm torn. Do I apply to it? Is it going to be a little bit more than what I'm expecting? Is the responsibilities going to be too heavy? I kind of weigh my options. I talk to my immediate supervisor. I get with some of my peers. We talk it over. I say to myself, you know what? I'm going to apply. What's the worst that can happen? Guess what? A few days later, I get the call. I get an opportunity to interview for the role that I'm looking for in a promotable status. I can't wait to get started. Now, in this specific role that I applied to, they go through touch-based sessions. So it's not just an immediate interview. You'll have someone that reaches out to you, a director of some sort, that will talk you through what the interview may look like and just ask you some off-the-cuff questions. Doesn't bother me any, right? I'm ready. So I get the time, I get the date, I know exactly how it's going to work out. All I have to do is do my prep work, right? So I make sure I look over the job description, which I'd already read. I think about some things that I'm doing really good in my job. I put everything in my mind the right way. I am ready for this interview. Next thing you know, connection day is here. So I get dressed in my best outfit, drive to work with the biggest smile on my face, walk into the building, everybody saying, "Lo, why are you dressed so nice?" I said, "Look, man, I got things going on. I got moves to make. I gotta go." I go sit in my office and then I remind myself that, hey, this is a phone interview. But I don't care. I'm ready mentally, physically. I got everything I'm ready to rock and roll with. And this is just a connection. Don't forget, this is only just a connection. So this isn't the interview process yet. This is for a touch point of me and that specific director. So I'm waiting for the call, 10 a.m., right around the corner. Here it comes. Right at that time, the phone rings. I pick it up. "Lorenzo Morgan, how can I help?" I said, "Great, we were looking for you, Lorenzo. We want to talk to you really quick. Is there an opportunity for us to be able to get with you?" It's the director. We exchange pleasantries and talk about how the weather's going and everything like that. And I'm just itching to get started with this connection, right? I'm itching just to answer any questions that he or she may have. I'm ready for this. So we go through how I've enjoyed the current role that I'm in, what I would like to do differently, why I applied to the role that I applied to. We go through those pieces. He said, "Lorenzo, there's just one more question I want to ask you." He said, "What are your non-negotiables in this new role?" I said, "I'm sorry?" "What are your non-negotiables in this new role? What are some values that you're going to bring to this new role that's going to help you with keeping and building a team, a productive team?" I said, "Well, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm pretty solid with doing ABCD. You know, I excel in EFG. I really enjoy doing this, and this. So hopefully that answers your question." So there's a pause. And then I hear him say, Lorenzo, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm excited and interested to do an interview with you, but I don't feel comfortable offering you that position. Not right now. Everything goes silent. Like, that shit isn't in my notes. What am I supposed to say to that? Like, so I'm going to interview for a role that you're not willing to give me? Like, what am I supposed to say now? So I'm just logging through my mind what I'm supposed to do. I'm thinking about my notes. Hell, I even look down. It's a phone interview, remember? So I look down at my notes. I'm not ready for that question. So I'm like, okay, can you elaborate a little bit? He says, Lorenzo, how can you lead a team or roll into a position if you currently don't have any solid non-negotiables for yourself? I said, I don't know. That's a very good point. He said, I'm sure that there are things, values, etc., that you may do on a daily basis that make you who you are. But if you're not able to speak to them on a daily basis, then how valuable are they to you? As soon as I heard that, a light bulb went off in my head. So he said, what I want you to do, Lorenzo, before the interview is I want you to make sure that you put a list down of non-negotiables that you have for this specific position. He said, if that's too difficult, don't even go in that direction. Write down non-negotiables that are for you in life. And we'll talk about those prior to the interview. So, all right, cool. Then I can definitely do that. Now, a side of me was bummed, slightly pissed off, to be perfectly honest with you. But I thought about it and said, if I can't answer the first question the man threw out to me, I know I won't be able to answer question 2, 3, or 4, right? Hell, I don't even have any non-negotiables. At that point, I'm like, what the hell's the definition for a non-negotiable? Like, what is that? It sounds like a food or something. So I had to go look it up. I didn't even know what a non-negotiable was. Some of you don't either. Don't get to smiling, because some of you don't either. So after that whole connection point or touch base session took place, obviously the rest of my day was shot. I'm walking around like a zombie, right? I'm looking good, but I'm walking around like a zombie. People are saying, hey, how are things going? So on and so forth. I'm like out of it. So I say, screw it, man. I'm gonna go to the house. So I get to the house, but I'm so interested into what this non-negotiable story is. Like, what is this? So I start looking it up, finding a little bit of different definitions on it, you know, the professional side of it, the life, personal side of it. And I said to myself, this can't be that difficult. So I see examples of non-negotiables that some individuals, whether they're successful or otherwise, have. And I say, this can't be that difficult. Why don't I come up with my own non-negotiables? So I do that. I take some time out to think about who I am, what I stand for, and what things I want to stand for moving forward. So I have 3 of them. I normally don't share these, but I'm going to share them with you today. Now, mind you, before I share the 3 non-negotiables I have in my life, remember, you can have more than 3 if you want to. You can have less than 3 if you want to. The whole point is, do you have something? Something that you stand for. You got to have some kind of pillar, right? Like, what is it? So my 3 always start with competing. Every day I want to compete. Every day there is some type of competition that I want to go after. Whether it's from a health perspective, whether it's from working out, whether it's competing with myself, whether it's reading a certain amount of books, I have to compete every single day. Competing is my first one. My second one is growth/improvement. Every day I want to improve in some form or facet in my life, right? Whether it's spiritually, physically, mentally, I want to grow and improve in some form or fashion in my life. Every single day. If it means that I have to read extra books to kind of improve on that side, so be it. If it means I have to run an extra mile, so be it. If it means I have to listen to other people when it comes to television or broadcasting, certain spots like that, so be it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I grow and improve every single day. Every single day. So you got competing and you have growth. My third one, the best one out there, laughing. My third one is humor. So now you have competing, you have growth, and you have humor. Why? It's very simple. Because you got to enjoy what you're doing. So every single day, I want to either laugh at someone, make someone laugh at me, enjoy what I'm seeing somewhere else to bring up that humor side of me. But there has to be some kind of humor or laughter that I have on a daily basis. That's it. That's the simple 3 that I have. Competing, improving, and laughing. And you know what's best about those 3? They can actually transition to any side of the life that I have. Professionally, I take those 3 with me. Personally, I take those 3 with me. I can interchange them, I can flip them around. Now don't get me wrong, I can add on to those non-negotiables or remove some of them if need be, but those 3 have been my standard of who I am for the last 4 years. So with all that said, my ask is incredibly simple. Come up with your own non-negotiables if you don't already have any. It doesn't matter if you have 1 or if you have 300. They don't have to transition all the way through your personal life and your professional life. You don't have to make it that difficult. Just come up with something that holds standards of pillars of who you are. That's it. Things you will never negate from. And hopefully you won't end up in the same position or in the same environment at the same time that I did. Once again, thanks so much for joining. Hopefully it added value to you. If so, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right below. That way you have access to all the stories that I've shared and the mishaps I've had in my life. And most importantly, don't forget to share this with a family, friend, or a loved one. If it adds value to something they may be going through in their life right now, I would love to share that with them as well. Can't wait to catch you next time, right here on Handles.